flight tails.
Woo! That was perfect.
Yeah,
that's pretty
everything
solid.
I ever wanted.
Yes.
Pretty solid.
It's perfect. Solid.
Yep.
Solid flight. So we're here today to talk about some density, altitude, and weight and balance. Kind of go together.
Yeah.
Important to know when you go to high altitudes.
Yep. Hand in hand.
Yeah.
Hand in hand.
You know, the examiner always wants you to know it, but then, like, it's good for you to know because you never know when you're going to travel to, like, Denver or
Just Denver.
Just Denver.
Denver.
You never
Wyoming.
know.
And Wyoming.
Montana.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wyoming.
Pretty much the whole
Idaho.
Midwest. Yeah.
Yeah.
High elevation. High elevation.
High elevation.
And that'll be one of the factors that play into it. But a lot of people, I feel like, aren't familiar with a lot of the other factors: temperature, humidity,
Oh, yeah.
things like that as well. That'll definitely.
You know, and then, like, you know, checking your, because, like, at sea level, you don't really have to check your runway length. I mean, if you're in a Cessna.
In a Cessna. Yeah.
Cessna. I mean, a bigger airplane, you definitely got to, depending on which
Absolutely.
runway. But, like, in a Cessna, you're good pretty much no matter where you go, you know, like Jenna Red. You're good.
You're good.
You're good.
You're having a good time over there.
Yeah, you know, 3,000-foot runway, plenty of runway.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the landing on there is like 2,400, I think. something like that.
400.
Yeah. Still good.
Yeah.
Cessna.
That might be a day, though, when it comes to doing your weight and balance. If you're full fuel, you got 4 passengers,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
crammed in a Cessna 172,
Yeah.
which, by the way, 4 passengers in a Cessna 172, I would not recommend it.
No, you definitely want to check your weight and balance on
Definitely
that
want to check
one.
your weight and balance, because a short runway
Can't-
like that
and
on
you-
a hot Louisiana summer day, that's going to mess you up. You might have
And you can't have full fuel.
What about on a cold Colorado winter day?
cold Colorado winter day.
You're good.
You're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, see, because the air's more dense.
Yeah.
It's more dense.
Yeah.
But also in Colorado, you're at 5,000 feet, so that throws you off. Like you can't. You have to go use more runway to get up in the air.
Yep.
But why?
So,
Yes. Yes.
So, density altitude. Let's talk about it. So, it's essentially reported to us in our weather reports. They'll give a weather report. They'll say density altitude 1,500, something like that. And that's sort of like a measurement for how the airplane's going to perform. So the airplane's going to behave like it's at that altitude that they're reporting. If that makes sense. Now, density altitude itself, that's going to be sort of a correction for non-standard temperature or your elevation or humidity, moisture in the air as well. So that's affecting the molecules in the air and making our aircraft perform worse, essentially.
The engine, the wings.
The wings,
yeah,
yep.
It all performs worse. So then you have to use more runway. Not only is it like, if you think about a Cessna, not only more runway, but actually after you get off the runway, the climb out.
Yep.
At higher density altitude, it's going to be a slower climb. And
So that's another thing that you can factor in. Your climb out, say you're in a mountainous area like Denver or Montana, Wyoming, you climb out. Cool, you're off the runway now, but you got mountains straight ahead.
Yep.
And you're putting up at 300 feet per minute or 200 feet per minute because of that density altitude and your weight, things like that. So now, cool, we got off the runway. What about our climb?
What about our climb?
But what about our climb? Hopefully
our
we
climb?
clear the mountain.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes.
that's the advice to all.
Yes. I mean, you can find all this information in your POH.
Yep.
You get a look in your POH, Pilot Operating Handbook, and you can check to see how much runway you're going to use, what your climb rate's going to be. So if you're up in Denver, I know we do, when we're doing mock check rides, we always try to use like Centennial Airport in Denver. I do anyway. And that's close to 6,000 feet above sea level.
Yep.
So looking at your takeoff distance, it's like 1,800 or something like that.
Yep. Up at 6,000 or 7,000 feet
Yeah.
compared to like here is like 800.
Yeah.
800 something.
So it's like double almost. It's like double the distance.
It's a very big difference.
And this is in a little Cessna, so you could apply that to any airplane. It's going to be double the distance. Now, the runways at Centennial are like 10,000 feet, so you got plenty of runway. But then you have to look at, after takeoff, the climb rate. You know, you're starting out at 6,000 feet. You probably want to climb to 9,000 because so you can stay 3,000 feet above the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then that climb rate will, I mean, at 6,000, you're probably getting, what was it, like 300 or 400 feet a minute, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And then it just slowly gets worse as you go try to climb. So,
yeah, because the airplane's behaving like it's at that. Well, I guess in that case, it's at that altitude. But say we were here at Lafayette, they report density altitude 3,000 or something like that on a crazy hot day. The aircraft's going to behave like it's at 3,000. So that performance is reduced heavily.
yeah, so that's the things you got to worry about when going out west. And now, if you have an airplane that has a turbocharger, it'll help. It'll help because you don't lose that power in your engine.
Yep.
Because normally, a normal aspirated engine that doesn't have a turbocharger will end up losing power as you go up in altitude. But with a turbocharger, you'll have the same. Also, weight and balance at high density altitude. If you look at your charts and you say, man, I'm using a lot of runway, or I'm not going to climb good, there's so many variables because you might
Not
do
gonna
that.
climb good.
Not going to climb good. So many variables. So you could say, well, you know what? I'm gonna take off in the morning because it'll be cooler.
Yep.
Or I'm gonna leave Grandma here and some of her bags so I can get off the runway and climb and clear that mountain.
Well, you don't want to leave Grandma. Grandma's going to be mad.
Yeah. She'll have to take an airline flight, you know? Grandma.
Make Grandma drive.
Yeah, make Grandma drive home. So there's some variables you can do, the things you can adjust, you know?
First thing I would do, I would take fuel out so I don't have to leave Grandma.
Oh, okay.
Take some fuel out.
He's smarter than me. I guess I would have just left Grandma, you know?
I couldn't have Grandma mad at me.
Yeah.
Mad at me.
Okay, so you flew over there, you burned fuel to get there, and so when you leave, you have to figure out how much fuel can I take off with and not fill it up. The other side of that is you're going to probably have to make a fuel stop on the way back to Lafayette. So like we're saying we're in Lafayette, I don't know, wherever you're going.
Mm-hmm.
So when you leave Denver, you don't top it off. You don't fill it up with fuel because you know that it's going to affect your takeoff distance. It's going to be heavier. Instead of leaving Grandma, you just leave some fuel out.
Leave some fuel.
Make Grandma siphon the fuel out.
Yeah, make
There you
Grandma
go.
siphon the fuel
You
out.
want to come? You take the fuel out.
Yeah,
the fuel
that's right. Or you're driving home, okay? So yeah, you can not fill it up. Like maybe you could fill it up when you left Lafayette, but once you get up there, it's you because of you're at higher elevation.
Mm-hmm.
But it might work if you burned off enough fuel.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Because we're not going to be as heavy as we were on takeoff because of all that fuel burn en route.
And so then you take off, and then you got to find a fuel stop on the way back because you don't want to run out of gas. That's a bad thing.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
I'd rather not run out of
rather
gas.
Yeah. I'd rather not.
So you'd rather be too heavy than run out of gas.
No, I mean I want to be in my, whatever I needed.
There's
to be.
a safe zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. A very safe zone. Way more safe than.
Yeah.
playing
You
the line.
You'd
fly a
rather
little.
leave Grandma behind.
Yeah. Oh, I'd rather leave Grandma behind than run out.
You don't
of
have
gas.
to. Apparently, you don't have to ask him for that. He's just gonna leave her off.
Grandma's not coming. What are you talking about? That was never a question.
We were planning on dropping her off there, leaving. Oh, you want to come back? So if you're on a check ride, the DPE version of this would probably be they have you check the takeoff distance at sea level, and then make you go to an airport that's above sea level, like a 6,000 foot field elevation, and then compare the two and ask you, well, why is the takeoff distance longer? And then, if you don't say the right answer, you fail.
No, just so
You fail. You fail.
That's the short. This is not a helpful short. So you better say the right answer.
No, you won't
done.
actually fail. What they're looking for is the reason why it takes longer runway. The air is thinner, the air is less dense, but also that it takes more speed. Your true airspeed has to change
Speed and
because you have to
acceleration.
get more air over the wing in order to create the same amount of lift.
And so that gets into the whole acceleration and true airspeed. hole that you could dig yourself into if you get it wrong. That's what's going to happen. If you get that wrong on a check ride, then he's going to
keep asking
going to
questions.
dig into it and see if you could dig yourself out of it, which it can get very difficult digging yourself out of that hole.
Yeah, so that's why you have your FAA books, so you can start. If he keeps asking, well, why? Well, why?
Pull out a book.
Pull out a book and start looking.
Books sold here at Owens Flight Training.
That's right. But also, you got to, if you're on a check ride, you also got to check your weight and balance because you're going to plan across country somewhere. And maybe not as far to Denver, but like you're going to have to plan one you have to know how to do your weight and balance.
Yeah, and I haven't been with a DPE that has done this, but I would imagine there are some out there that might give you a plan for your weight and balance, and maybe they have it overweight on purpose. And then they ask you, the applicant, okay, what are we going to do about that then? And so that gets to our grandma situation. I haven't seen any DPEs.
That would be
now
awesome.
You're giving people ideas. Now you're giving DPEs ideas.
Yeah.
Well, if you study, then it's not a problem.
No, if you watch this podcast,
If you watch this podcast, it's not a problem. Just tell grandma to get off.
Yeah.
Just tell grandma.
I want somebody to pass a check ride by saying, I would leave my grandma behind.
Hey, Owens told us to leave grandma,
Leave
okay?
it behind.
That scenario, though, is a good, just doing a takeoff distance.
Mm-hmm. Takeoff distance, looking at the two differences in the distances and be like, why is that different? I love doing that every time I'm like with somebody. I tell them, open your POH, look at this, look at whatever section, or look at your performance charts. And like he said, tell me what the distances are. And then they say the distances and they're a little confused. And I'm like, why do you think that is? And so then they kind of dig into the whole, I get to play a little DPE action there. And it's pretty fun. So
it's fun to torture people. It is.
After going through years of dealing
Being
with
tortured?
Yeah. We deserve something.
That whole altitude.
That's your reward.
Yeah.
We used to go to Driggs, Idaho, and I can't remember the field elevation for Driggs, Idaho. It's probably close to 6,000 feet. And I remember coming in and like the first time I went, and it's kind of freaky because you're coming in at your indicated airspeed, which was like 130 or 140 or whatever. But it's like everything's coming so much faster than like you're used to everything comes fast at sea level at 130 knots.
Yeah.
But but it was just everything was so much faster peripherally. It was just kind of freaky when you're coming in on final to land, and then you touch down and you slow down and stop and everything. But that goes back to that. The reason why is because of the true airspeed's faster. My indicated airspeed's the same, but then my true airspeed's so much faster. So then it creates my ground speed's going to be faster when I'm coming into land, and it's just kind of freaky. So the first time you go and do that, if you've learned at sea level, it kind of freaks you out initially.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for that?
Just go do it.
Just know that it's gonna look
just I guess the knowledge and knowing that that's gonna happen,
and it's okay,
and being prepared for it, and it's okay. Just make sure you look at your airspeed indicator and that you're going on the speed that. I think Peyton and I talked about that. I don't know if it was a debrief or whatever. He was saying that if somebody's not aware of it, then they might end up slowing down. And, you can get, if your indicated airspeed gets too slow, you're going to stall.
Yeah.
So because you have that anxiety feeling of everything's coming so much faster, I must be going a lot faster, or I must, I need to slow down. Well, you can slow down to a point where you stall, and then, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I guess you might see the difference between the true airspeed and indicated maybe if you do it in the sims. I guess you have to get a type rating for the Piaggio, or
yeah.
So maybe you see that difference, but I would imagine feeling the difference and seeing it on the simulation is a lot.
I mean, I had a Proline 21 in there, so it told me true airspeed, and it, is all modern advanced avionics, so it tells me all the. But I don't know. You don't look at that when you're coming in. You're looking at your indicators, and you're just looking at the runway and focusing on, especially when you're short final and You see the trees moving fast and everything, you know.
Everything's coming at you so
Yes.
fast. Slow down.
Okay.
Please.
Yes.
Please stop.
It's fine. It's okay.
Say
Yeah, so
say
just
another
knowing
prayer.
Yeah, say it.
Say another prayer. Yeah. And I guess that kind of goes back to what we were talking about, how the runways up there are going to be longer. And that's by design because they know that we're going to take a longer time to slow down on the runway. So it's not just there because they got bigger jets in Denver or anything like that. It's there because we need more time to slow down.
I want to say Driggs was a non-towered small airport, you know, like Abbeville. It had one runway.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, I want to say it was 7,000 feet, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like Abbeville's 5, you know? So
yeah, I was going to say if that was down here, it would probably be like 4 or 5,000 feet in comparison. So and I know like Denver has like 12,000 foot runways, like crazy long.
They're launching huge planes.
Yeah. Massive.
And when you're flying a multi-engine, you know, and you take off out of a high density airport or high airport elevation, with 2 engines, it's good. You're fine. But say you lose one, you know, and usually you have a service ceiling on your multi-engine. So climbing up across those mountains, you know, you lose an engine on climb out, and then now you've lost more than 80% of your performance. So you may not clear that mountain. So that's another consideration you got to worry about in higher density altitudes, like mountainous areas and stuff.
Yeah, every time you take off, you really need to brief. And we had like a real good discussion of this with the FAST team about briefing different emergency situations whenever you're departing, basing it on where you're at. Because, you know, we have the usual, you know, below 700, above 700. What are we going to do? On the runway, what are we going to do? So that's something that you would add to the briefing. For example, like here, taking off on runway 11. There's a lot of trees on the departure end of that.
That's right.
So
yes.
I like to make that decision maybe a little bit sooner than 700, just because it gives me more options. So that's definitely another option, or another thing that you need to think about when taking off is thinking about worst case scenario. Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario with the multi. Multis are great until you lose one engine.
That's right. Till you lose that engine, and then you know, at sea level, it's fine because maybe some, especially light twins, because some light twin, I think the 310 is like the service ceiling on the single engines, like 6,000 feet or something. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if you're up there at a high elevation, the ground is 6,000 feet.
Yeah.
So, you know, you
maybe shouldn't be flying.
Yeah. You're good on takeoff with both engines, but if you lose one, you know, you're going to start sinking.
Yep. And now you're on a timer. Now you got to find a spot soon. So plan that out before you go.
Yeah. Look at your charts.
Look at your charts. Look at your surrounding areas of the airport. See, map out some spots. Okay, if we lose an engine, there's a really nice field here. Let's go for the field, not for the trees. Mm-hmm. You know,
always go for the field and not the trees.
Always,
the field, not the trees.
I like fields.
Hopefully,
I really like fields.
Hopefully, there's no cows in the field.
Yeah.
Still better than trees.
Yeah, better than trees. Yeah,
better than trees. Poor cows. Poor cows.
Flight tails.
Flight tails. Woo-woo. If you've made it this far, you've listened to the entire episode, and for that, we would just like to say thank you, and we hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about today's episode or suggestions for future episodes, just leave a comment or message us, and we'll do our best to answer. If you'd like to check out some fun aviation videos, check out our YouTube channel at Owens Flight Training. Or if you'd like to get more information on becoming a safe, knowledgeable, and confident pilot, just head over to our website, owensflighttraining.com.